So this is my week 3 of phase 2, which is the no sugars, no starches. Some people call it P3. And this is actually my last day of that phase. So starting tomorrow, I'll be in phase 3. And that's supposed to be eat whatever you want. And of course, because I'm following the weight loss apocalypse, that eat whatever you want will only happen when I'm physically hungry and stop when the hunger goes away. I wrote a little blog today about what I've been learning, and I think each phase of the protocol is so instructive in its own way. Phase 1 for me was really about trusting my body and trusting that it wasn't secretly trying to keep me fat. I don't know where those ideas come from, but in my blog I wrote, it sounds so silly to think that I would not trust the vessel that was custom made for me to carry around my heart and mind by God. And but it happens, and so that was the biggest thing that I got from phase 1, was being able to trust my body and to go by the symbols that it gives, because it knows what it needs, and all I have to do is simply listen and respond. So this phase, I didn't blog every day, and I didn't really feel like I was learning the same as much every day as I was the first one, because it was really getting to know my body and listening for signals and trusting those signals, and there was a lot going on. This is no sugars, no starches. I am comfortable eating that way because of all the different times that I've cut carbs or whatever out of my diet. So it wasn't any new experience as far as eating goes. It was a pleasure to add back in fats and the more variety of proteins and more variety of fruits and vegetables. To be able to have mushrooms again and different things like that. Peaches, we ate lots of peaches. And I learned that Asian pears are very yummy. I never had one before, and I didn't realize that their consistency was more like an apple than a pear. So that's something I learned. And but really, I think what I'm learning is acceptance. That I have lost weight now, and I'm smaller, and I feel good about that. And I feel more, I don't know what the right word is, more secure in that than in past times when I've lost weight. I feel like in past times when I've lost weight, there was this energy of not believing it was going to stay gone, and this energy of that I was going to have to work really, really hard to keep that weight off. Either I was going to have to exercise more, I was going to have to eat really restrictively. So with the weight loss came this tension and worry about, am I going to be able to do what it takes to keep the weight off? And I don't have that this time. I feel like the weight is just going to stay off because I'm not going to go back to eating outside of hunger. And I was telling a friend about how I feel about this protocol and what I've been doing, and she's interested in it for herself. And I was telling her that I really feel like the power that food had in my life is not there anymore. And literally the next day I went into a my menstrual cycle is getting to where I'm hungrier, and it feels like I'm chasing hunger all day. So it's not like I'm hungrier where I eat more at 2 meals a day. It's like I'm hungrier more often all throughout the day. So like every few hours I'm hungry, and I eat a little bit, hunger goes away, and then it comes back a couple hours, like half an hour later I'm hungry again, I eat a little bit. And so that is kind of strange, and that makes me nervous sometimes. I like it when it's just I get hungry a couple times a day and I eat and then I'm done. But so I had that happen, and then also my mood dropped down really low, and I do struggle with that, and I know it's tied into my cycle, and but in the past I medicate that with food. I have something that excites my taste buds and gives me a bolt of sugar energy or something, and then I feel better temporarily, and then it drops down again, or then I get fluid retention because whatever. So I went into that phase like right away after. So then I felt like food doesn't have power over me, but I was struggling with those old patterns of craving. So I wanted to medicate, and if I imagined or thought about, well, what do I want to eat? What do I want to eat? If I could eat, well, I can eat whatever I want. I'm choosing to only eat certain things right now, but if I could eat whatever I wanted, what would I want? And I really wasn't craving things that were outside of sugars and no sugar, no starch. I thought about cake, and I'm like, oh, that doesn't sound good. I thought about other things that I used to use, and none of them really sounded good. I do still think that alcohol, sometimes I gravitate towards that because I feel like it will help me de-stress or get my anxiety down. But you know what? It just isn't true. It just is not true. So I think I'm finally giving up on that. I did find an interesting article. I'm going to write a blog post about it, though, because I do crave foods to balance my mood. And I didn't really have any and that would do anything for my mood, and so I Googled how to elevate mood without food. And instead I got this article about foods that elevate your mood naturally that are good for you, and like some of the things that were on there are things that I crave sometimes, like spinach and Swiss chard. I've never had Swiss chard, but that was on the list and I'm going to try it. Bananas were on the list. Salmon because the omega-3s was on the list. Walnuts because the omega-3s were on the list. And I thought, you know what? Maybe instead of trying to push away that idea of medicating myself with food, maybe it's there for a reason. I've just been misusing it. So I feel like I'm starting to come out of my mood issue right now. But next time I have it, I'm going to look for cravings, and I'm gonna bring those foods up and ask myself, am I craving one of those foods? Because maybe I'm supposed to medicate with food, but I just haven't been using the correct medication. So that's what I've been learning. I've really been learning about acceptance this time, and that there's going to be things that I continue to have problems with regardless of what size I am. I'm still going to have skin problems because I'm fair skinned. I got burned every summer, and I have to go to the dermatologist and get little spots frozen because they're precancerous. That's still going to happen. I have aspirin triad syndrome, and I don't see that going away, so I'm still going to have to deal with being allergic to NSAIDs and having chronic sinus congestion and having asthma. And this mood disorder, I would like for it to go away, but I think it's been with me since I was a teenager, and I think it's just here to stay. So instead of trying to find a way to fix these things or hoping that they're going to go away when I lose weight, magically, I think instead I need to move to acceptance. These are a part of me, and I need to accept the whole me and not keep trying to think that I need to be different in order to be complete or something. So acceptance is what I've been learning. Thanks, bye. Oh, I did forget. I lost, during these 3 weeks, I did my measurements today. I lost another 5.2 pounds, which is a total of 29 pounds now, and another 3.5 inches, which is a total of, I think, 19.5 inches now. So, yay. that happened in those 3 weeks of no sugars, no starches. The 5.2 pounds and 3.5 inches. Okay, talk to you next week. Bye.